Plus, the girl who I was dating for like a year prior to this, who was my pen pal, who I fell in love with, which I will talk about specifically and in detail in another episode, who I swore was the wife that God had for me, cheated on me, broke up with me, ghosted me, and I found out she was pregnant. The only girl, the first girl in my life that I fell in love with. And I swore I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. All my release plans, like, focused on her and us starting a family together. All that happened, and then COVID hit. So personally, for me, COVID was the worst experience all throughout my years in prison. So the point that I was getting at, as far as having short time syndrome, I stopped going in the TV room just because there was so much chaos. I mean, that's just where like everyone's loud and yelling and arguing and fighting over the TV, or everyone's got something to say about whatever's on TV. So a lot of times, man, like I normally stayed away from the day room, the TV room anyways, unless there's something like really good on I wanted to watch, or some type of sports event. But like I said, mainly I watched the world news, the local news, and TMZ nightly. TMZ to stay in touch with culture, especially like the hip hop culture. Local news just to see what was going on in Florida, and the world news just so I could be in the loop of what's going on in the world and in culture. But when I had short time syndrome, man, I'm aggravated, I'm irritable with everybody. I'm not even really watching the world news. But COVID-19's popping off. All right, I'm dipping in the day room. I'm watching the TV, seeing what's going on. And, as COVID's progressing, you see like the morgues, like in New York, getting full, and you see like they don't even got places to put the bodies, and you just see like all the black, bags, with the dead bodies in it, and then putting in the freezers outside the hospital in New York, like it's getting real, and then they do all the quarantine lockdowns, and, people can't go outside, and people aren't going to restaurants and all this stuff, and it's rapidly like progressing. And being in prison, being removed from society, like, okay, we hear about it, we can see it on TV, police tell us, family tells us, friends, whatever, from the phone, emails, letters, whatever. But we really don't necessarily get affected by it, especially like at the beginning. But there's ongoing conversation like on the news, and then especially like in the prison system, inmate.com, that's like the slogan for this, all the rumors going around the prison compound about what's gonna happen when COVID-19 hits the prison system. And on the news, they're talking about it already. Like whenever like COVID hits the retirement homes and all these places to where people are confined, hospitals, retirement homes, especially like the elderly, and even prisons, because everybody lives in a confined area together in which we really can't quarantine. It's impossible. Like it's going to rapidly spread and everybody's going to get sick. So there's rumors, everyone's talking about it like, yo, like it's going to run through like the entire prison system. So everybody's like not really knowing what to expect. And we kind of like all know it's coming. And then the first person on the pound gets sick.